sounds good to go, man. Dan, thank you, Dan. And thank you all for coming. You look magnificently splendid. I love each and every one of you. It's wonderful to see you. I would kiss you, but there's a law against that, I think, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I won't kiss you, which is good, but I will tell you, thank you for coming. It's wonderful that you've come out and you're here tonight at the Baobab Bar. Those of you who come regularly know that I usually start the show by giving a little bit of a story about something that I've done since the last show. And usually it's very brief because I've normally done absolutely nothing. But this month is an exception. I have done something which almost deserves a whoop. Okay, well, we'll get there, but thank you for saying, yes, he's done something this month, amazing. No, I have. What I did is I went foraging. Anybody been foraging here? Yes, here's the thing, isn't it? Well, I mean, I'm not actually interested in foraging. It's just, the cost of lockdown, cost of living, head on message, cost of living crisis, meant that I thought I'd better go and, find some free food. So that's what I did. I put myself on a course to do some mushroom foraging, but before I did it, I thought, well, I'm going to look up, what foraging actually means, because, I was a virgin forager, and I, was a bit uncertain about it, so I looked it up. Dictionary definition of foraging is looking for food. Which is interesting because essentially I've done that most of my life when I've gone to Sainsbury's. Although actually I'm not endorsing Sainsbury's, I boycott all of those corporate stores. And if you haven't boycotted them, please do boycott them, because I single-handedly, I think they've got a couple of weeks, but they will be going bankrupt, and now I've withdrawn my pack. Yes! So don't go to those awful stores. We have loads, as you know, on the high street. Hannah from Wonderful is here, and you need to get your stuff away. So shop there and shop local and stuff the corporations, because they're mean and horrible. Anyway, I was telling you about foraging, not about corporates. So essentially, when you go shopping, you are foraging, and that's a fact. So when you go shopping, only do this in a supermarket though, because you're foraging, it's free, so you can just walk out. Don't do it at Hannah's shop or any of the local shops. But in Sainsbury's or Tesco's or the other horrible shops, do it there, and if you're stopped, then I think it's a defence to say that you're foraging. I was a lawyer in a past life. I'm not entirely sure. Try it. If they accuse you of shoplifting, they're probably nitpicking, and I think that's a defence, Your Honour. I was just nitpicking and foraging, so that's fine. You'll get away with it. Anyway, so I went and I did this foraging for mushrooms. I've got an image which I must show you about. I think I have an image. No, I don't. Anyway, I thought I did. It was only a mushroom I was going to show you. So I went foraging for mushrooms, and we had the chief forager was there. He was, I don't know what the proper name for a forager is, but he was there. And he was showing, and we came across this group or crop of mushrooms, and he gave them a name. They all got ridiculous names. I think these were kind of silky trumpets or something, or chocolatey violins. Anyway, he said this is what they were called, and he said, look, these are lovely, bit of garlic, a bit of butter, chop these up. And they're delicious, you can eat these, and they're very gourmet. Okay, great. And anyway, we carried on, we walked, just around the corner, a few more yards, came to another little, crop of mushrooms, and they looked exactly like the kind of silky violins or whatever we'd just seen. And he said to us, so what are these? So we all said, well, they're silky trumpets, or whatever the word, the phrase thing that he'd given us before, the silky chocolatey trombones. And he looked at it, and they were exactly the same. He said, well, yes, I can understand why you'd say that, but in fact, if you turn them upside down, you'll see that the gills on the silky trumpets are just a millimetre apart, whereas the gills on these death by violent, violent sort of excretions within 24 hours was I think the kind of like the short Latin name. The gills are 2 millimetres. It was just ridiculous. Honestly, that's absolutely true. What I've learned from foraging, and I've only done it once, is that under no circumstances should you ever eat a foraged mushroom. That is essentially, that is what I took away from my foraging course, okay? Well, I suppose which makes an argument for supermarkets in the end. No, it doesn't. Do not go there. Let's bring them down collectively. Right, thank you for coming and indulging with my foraging story. Never go foraging with me either.